Day edition of the Shotgun Start. It is March 26th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing great. I mean, that was pure electricity in TGL. I'm gonna be on this high for months.
You are screaming. I had to mute it. I had to turn the volume down. It was good. It was a good ending. I think it was a great gameplay the last two nights. I think I'm a little extra excited because I no disrespect to TGL or anyone involved. I was not prepared to sit through another 2 hours and do this live show at 11:15 or 30 or whatever. Part of the extra enthusiasm and juice might be to Billy, our savior, delivering us from a great event, great coverage. I just didn't need 4 hours. Like I wouldn't need 4 hours of Alabama LSU. Like I don't need 4 hours of that game. But it was great.
I was
good
a huge Drive fan this tonight. Huge Drive fan. I did not want that going the distance. And what a great way for it to end. Honestly, earnestly, if you were going to have a championship match, I don't think you could have drawn it up much better than the way it finished.
Did Atlanta win it, or did New York just hand it away? Just hoist it,
Felt like they were playing not to lose.
2 nights in a row,
and not playing to win.
I mean, Atlanta sort of had the luxury of being up 1-0, right? You come in, you're kind of playing with you can mix and match your rotations, say, if you're like an NBA coach. I don't know. I don't want to give this. I don't know what analysis to give this. It literally ended 5 minutes ago. We're processing my thoughts. Like, do I think this is the most serious thing ever? No. Have I found it to be interesting and entertaining? Yes. Have they spent like $1 billion like all in, right down to the confetti and the fog machines and smoke machines and
winter shirts,
the sand sculpture that took 8.5 hours apparently for the finals, like all sorts of stuff. No expense was spared, but it was it certainly was not a total flop, and the finals went out well. I think Billy Boy, you got to give him a little extra equity. You got to chip him off a little something extra. He made the league sing so often. He was genuinely into it. I remember when I was in there in person, when they beat Boston, and I went backstage and I listened to his post-game press conference, which I did. And he talked about how I think he had watched every single match on TV. He had seen, if he wasn't playing, he had watched every single match. And he was talking about the strategy and like, I've seen every single match. The guy was just into it. It mattered a lot. And I guess it's fitting, like you were saying, that he was the one that sent us out in season 1.
Earnest take. This is not a bit. I don't know how you keep him off the Ryder Cup team.
I mean, come on. I do.
He's playing good golf. He's playing well in real life.
And
you just watched what he can do. Honestly, I honestly think that he made Patrick Cantlay and Justin Thomas care more about this because of his energy and enthusiasm. I'm dead serious. This is a serious take.
Sure. I think I'm not against him being on the Ryder Cup team. Like, this isn't an argument against that, but I don't know that this is why you push him into the.
I think he brings a little juice, whether he plays or whether he doesn't play. You got to have him out there.
All right, he's got 6 months left. We got 4 months, 5 months till the rosters are final. I'm not against it. I would love it. It would be electric. God, it would be good with that New York crowd. I think I get what you're saying, but it feels like a little recency bias. Like you're hopped up on Billy.
Do you think
enthusiasm right?
Do you think the New York crowd would be against him now? Because now he's a New York sports villain.
That's true.
He's legitimately, he goes down in history. This is we're talking Chipper Jones, Reggie Miller, Sidney Crosby, Brady, Billy.
I got to shout out TD on Twitter, an anonymous burner, who said, replied to one of my tweets about Billy. SGS was an early buyer in Billy Land. I love that moniker.
Yeah.
we've got a lot of the market cornered on Billy Land.
The town crier ringing his bell. The baton toss. Yeah, it's not Trevor Immelman tweeted tonight. The baton toss translates well to screen golf, indoor golf. Yeah, I mean, look. It got legit chippy there. JT was very pissed at the late hammer throw again, and then the booth review and Derek Stafford tell him it was in time. If you are the TGL, you could have drawn it up better. I guess you could have had like Tiger and Rory or somebody else like in there, but God, it kind of came together for him with the hammers being the whole thing there at the end. A guy who like you have this sort of walk-off highlight with the throw in the hat and the putter and the just are you not entertained deal, the chest bumps with JT. Couldn't have come together better for them. In my opinion, you didn't have the 11 p.m. finish. Like the crowd would have really lost juice. I think that was a good way to go out. I thought Atlanta was clearly they had the best management. God, they were in love with that coach or on-field manager. I forget what his name was. Matt Ryan, something like that.
Matt Ryan, the quarterback.
Matt, or it was just Jimmy. I just some milk toast, name. He was great. And they were kind of the best team all year.
Well, we'll wait for the power rankings to tell you who the best team is. But yes, they did win the championship. Incredible run. They were great. Honestly, I think like what's interesting, like I felt like they bought in, and that's like one of the big things.
Yeah.
They like tried, and they were excited to be there, and I think that's a big deal. They also will always have the stink of being one of the teams that signed a player to a one-day contract. We'll have that.
Who was that? Dunlap?
Yeah, we'll hold that over their head.
That was more of a charity. Dunlap needed that at this point. Have you seen Dunlap? He needed that. That was good. They were just
needed
trying
a
to
little
help
cash
him.
infusion.
Oh, no, I didn't say that. They're just help a guy out, get him some reps, get him some competitive reps because he's not playing a lot of reps.
Oh no, the wires.
I get jammed up.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're back.
You're back.
You're back.
All right.
Let's get PJ. How do you feel as a New York fan right now?
It's been a shitty couple days, man. Just New York sports is getting it from all angles across all sports, and this is I don't like that we played not to lose. Played not to lose rather than playing to win. I thought the hammer management, the early offer on the hammer was bad. That was really bad. What was that? Like the second or third hole? That was tough.
Yeah,
that was bad. That was bad miss.
Wasted hammer. Right.
Completely wasted hammer when you're playing from behind. That can't happen. It's tough. I do think Cameron Young is a screen golf superstar. I think we've figured that out. I think the hometown kid has to stay for next year, but I think the Mets analytics department needs to kind of take a look and walk us through the hammer process for 2026.
How about them accepting a hammer with Cam Young with a 9-footer?
Yeah, we need our own Connor Stallions out there in the crowd. Because we need something. Again, we got to start learning. I like how we use the timeout to talk it over. There was a lot of conversation about do we take these or not, and I think once we arrived at the correct answer, and I would not have necessarily accepted the hammer with Cam Young having a 9-footer, but if you need Cam Young to hit a drive, then we're really cooking.
I see I'm getting some hate in the live chat about my Billy take. I decided to shoot a text off to a former Cup captain asking about Billy. Billy has to be on the Ryder Cup team, correct? And my take was affirmed. Has to be.
Because he made a 30 footer on a synthetic green.
You need that guy. Even if you play him one match, you need him in the team room. It's a winning player right there.
Just a vibes play. Purely vibes play. I guess you need a vibes guy.
No, this is where America has like fallen on their faces so much. Oh, he's a heartbeat in the room. I want Billy. Trust me. If this is like me arguing against my own kid being on the team. I would love Billy to be on the team. I want Billy on that wall. I need him on that wall. But I mean, just your justifications, I think, need a little more substance.
He's like a top 20 player.
How about Cam Young?
Yes.
Should he be on the team?
Maybe.
Yes.
Probably not though.
Favorite awkward moment of the night is when they do the intros. It's like 15-time winner, 2-time major winner, and then for Cam Young they say a former rookie of the year, not the reigning. Not just at one point he was the rookie of the year. That's his walkout hit. Not great, but he'll get there. He'll get his dub.
We're searching.
We're
searching. Vibes are high. How could you be out on Cam Young after his TGL performance?
I saw him hit the 9-footer that didn't even sniff the cup.
Yeah, but that always happens. You got to take the positives. He's a TGL finalist. Another runner-up finish.
Enough on the balls and strikes here. What about grand takeaways? From TGL season 1. PJ, get in here. You
nobody cares more about this newfangled made-up league than PJ. I thought it was interesting tonight that these guys they took it seriously at a point, right? There was some amount of anxiety with it, and there was some amount of competitiveness with it, and that's all you needed. Do I think they have those in some of these made for TV Wednesday matches that they would do from a Rocket Mortgage Classic no, I don't think that's there. I don't think a lot of that's the match. Maybe I don't even think that's there for the match, if I'm being honest, right? It's just kind of
I hope that I never have to watch another match.
A TV thing. I don't think it's really there for that. Do they want to beat the other guy? Sure. I thought it was interesting last night. Ricky was you're talking about their hammer strategy. Ricky was just so happy to lean on the analytics to not have to putt. To try and putt that. He's like, well, if they're saying don't do it, I guess we can't. I guess we can't. He didn't want that smoke. He didn't want that. He didn't want to have to make that. He didn't want to have to make that stroke. Like, oh, well, if they say we should, we just probably shouldn't, right? I guess we got to take it. And then today, I think there was real anxiety. I mean, Shane Lowry talked about his anxiety. There's nerves. Then today, it got, JT said it wasn't chippy, but it was very competitive. There was another level. JT, when they turned and walked off the green after they tried the late hammer throw again for the second straight night, and then this time, I don't know what the difference is. We're at what is a catch in football? I don't know what the difference was tonight between last night. He was on address, but they went to the booth.
It seemed like his left hand was not on the club tonight.
That's so insane.
But his left hand was on the club.
He was over the ball.
That's what the booth said.
Derek Stafford I've wondered why he's been there every week, and he completely fumbled that situation, just like he fumbled the Tiger shot clock violation where he wasn't going to make the call.
Well, he can't be working back.
If he made the putt, it was a classic NBA referee. I'm making the call. If he misses the putt, misses the shot, he's going to call the foul. If he misses the shot, I'm not going to call the foul if he makes it though. And then tonight he didn't put his foot down. He let Billy get the other thing. Billy he wasn't afraid to run over a referee.
No, he was not.
He was pissed. But JT legitimately made the face he makes when he's pissed off. He goes, that is terrible. He didn't say just to Stafford. He kept staring up at Russell at the booth as walking back. But there was this really awkward moment, not awkward, but intense moment. It's that's terrible. That's terrible. You know it. And when he's saying it to New York, I think he was pissed about the way they threw it late, and he thought it was he was legitimate. And I'm not saying that was unfounded or invalid anger. I'm just saying it's proof that there was something there, a little bit of juice, a little bit of anxiety. I think that's enough to work with going forward. Of course, there was a lot of parity with this that they seem to start taking seriously over the course of the season. Like so much ridiculousness. But I think those two things, and hopefully, to the very end, the tech and the feels, I'll just use the term scruffy. It was scruffy a little bit today. Like not everything was I would say.
How about the one ball that landed and like rocketed? Was it a Cantlay drive?
I think, or JT, right? Wasn't it
one of the two?
One? Yeah.
It rolled like 60 yards.
Or the one last night that Billy hit that landed on an upslope and just jutted forward off of the rocks when everybody was staring at the screen trying to figure out how that happened.
So, yeah, it was good. Anxiety and nerves. Where we get into trouble is saying it's like Saturday night in Baton Rouge or Stanley Cup final game. Like that's where we get into trouble, and that's what the players has gotten us out. Like that's a takeaway. Let's be happy with what we got and push. Keep going.
I think that something I was thinking about when I was at in Milwaukee for those tournament games was like just like the idea of like the fanfare that's associated with college athletics and like how I ran into all these people I went to college with that like people brought their kids and their wives and it's like this like festival of sorts and how golf just like it doesn't have the team element that so many other sports have. And I'm not saying this could be it, but you felt a little bit of like when we see team golf do really well, it has moments like tonight, I'm not saying this compares at all to a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup. I'm not going to pull a Taylor Gooch, but it did have the draw of team golf, like the players caring like as a team elevates like a moment. Like this would not be fun if it was just like mano-a-mano sim golf, right? And it was individual. The team golf adds like a nice feel to it. I do think like the gameplay needs a ton of work because we saw way more duds than we saw great nights like tonight. And it worked really well that it timed up. They had like a great 2-night span when it was the championship. Like that was awesome. But I think like they should make some wholesale format changes. I think they need real golf architects designing golf holes like that are
more
like
holes. Can I make that
Alpine
more variety?
They have to like some of these holes like it's like where I hit a driver it's 100 yards wide and 3 fairways. But it's like all of them fly at 260, Yeah. Alpine, it's like all of them could get to the speed slot, right?
But
it would be more.
You can't always get to the second slot unless you're Cam Young.
So like the holes could get a lot better. There should be uneven lies. Like if they've got a green that can be on jacks, then the turf that they hit from should be on jacks, right? Like that would be cool. It would add an element to it. It would probably enhance the whole thing. And then I think like the broadcast could.
I was I didn't know if we want to do grades or takeaways. Like I'm good with I've had my quota. The tank is filled and it's overflowing and it's flooding and everything's underwater. The tank is overflowing on several of the individuals. Yeah, I'm good.
I know what I didn't need today was like I didn't need Matt Ryan interviewed and have him just like ask him a really awkward question about Arthur Blank sitting. Like,
he's sitting 5 feet away from him.
Well, then he reaches over and they have an embrace.
Arthur Blank gave Matt Ryan like $300 million. What do you think he's going to say?
Well, Matt Ryan's all class. He's a great quarterback, all class, proper, well-spoken BC man. I did like Marty Smith signing off. Thank you for your class, or thank you for your gifts in class. Is that with like your gift of golf, your talents? I mean, we're like these guys were just out there like working a soup kitchen when they're giving away their own time and money. I appreciate that they put their, they play.
Use a little less class. I like the gamesmanship from Xander today. Get in the mud.
I love them making Cam Smith putt like a 1.5 foot putt that he almost missed. I love that.
Cam Young.
If there's ever a time to get in the mud, this is it.
Takeaways, PJ. You indulged this quite a bit.
I did indulge this quite a bit. I think it's kind of amazing that it got off the ground. Like you think about the initial dome, the inflatable bubble that got torn down by a hurricane. Like how far it has obviously come from there. But I think
torn down by a hurricane in air quotes there, big time. PJ, come on. All right.
No, but I think, the fact that it got off the ground, I think, as we discussed at length, this has to end before the players. Like, it absolutely has to be done before the players. I feel like it continuing on into now, like, serious Masters prep going on this week. Tony Finau is calling it the best week to play before the Masters, the closest place to play compared to Augusta National. And, you have to go from TGL to there. Yeah, we need to stop that.
Ricky's got a win to get in, and he's playing TGL.
Yeah.
On Tuesday night.
What's that say about Fitzy? What's that say about they won't put Fitzy in? It's not good.
But other than that, I liked the I feel like the personalities came out a little bit more as we got deeper into the season. You started seeing like deeper, more analytical Patrick Cantley, which was a fun meme. Billy obviously is incredible feeder. I don't know. It's better than nothing. Like that's my whole take is that I'm taking it as a total positive just by the fact that this exists. Are there very real issues with the gameplay and the holes and certainly the broadcast? Yeah, but I don't know. I thought it was cool, and it gave me another Cohen Private Ventures fun to root for, which as Steve Cohen goes, I go. So I'm happy about that.
He's not going to be happy, huh?
No, but I hope he remembers this feeling. And when the trade deadline goes around and we need a starter and a bench bat, don't hold on to those prospects, Steve. Remember how it feels to lose, because you don't want to do that in October.
It was
not in March. In October.
Listen, I don't know how these contracts work, but if we wanted to upgrade off of maybe 3 players on this roster, I would not be opposed to that either.
Wait, you're ready to ship Xander off?
We'll see. Wasn't around for much of the season. Team won a lot without him. That's all I'm saying.
Is your only untouchable on the NYGC franchise Cam Young?
Face of the franchise, baby. New York's own.
Doesn't speak. He's the face, though.
No, he's the face.
I like the post-game presser he said with Marty. He said, I really wish it went in. I wouldn't want to hit it again, though. I don't want to do that again. He's like, I enjoyed doing it. Never want to have to hold that again. Don't want another shot at it.
We need guys who want the ball. I'm not convinced Cam Young wants the ball, but I think he's an asset to this organization.
Hey, could I do a little bit of?
Man, we sure are spitballing, aren't we, Rich?
You absolutely can.
I'm doing some redecorating. I'm trying to rework the background. I got the live under par, but flag in the background now. But I was thinking, what if during the regular season, I kind of like the series. I like them playing night after, like back to back.
Okay.
Because you get I think it added to the chippiness, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
One thought I had for the regular season is, what if the matches were more like tennis, where you had sets and it's 3 sets? It would eliminate some of the blowout issues.
Okay. Maybe.
So,
yeah.
So maybe it's 6-hole matches, 3 6-hole matches. And then it goes then you have these faster matches, and if somebody's up 5-0 or 4-0, it starts over and it's match 1.
Well,
again,
that's the other thing. We got to figure out the whole tiebreaker situation. The playing of the extra holes all the time after the match is decided, it feels like the most waste of time ever, and it happened continually throughout the season.
I think the biggest issue here, the biggest problem, they're going to celebrate tonight so much and be like, we don't have to make any changes.
I don't know.
Tonight was so good that we don't have to make any changes. This is how stuff works. How could we ever change the hammer rule now that the Hammers, decided the first champion?
Do they need to do it?
I do. There's a lot of bad weeks, which is understandable. There's bad college basketball games too. There's bad NBA games. There's This is just the nature, but this is one way that you could make it a little bit less susceptible week in, week out.
Okay.
I mean, where else are we getting tweets like this? Atlanta, all-time Atlanta athlete rankings. Chipper Jones, Michael Vick, which is wild to begin with. Matt Ryan not even on this list, and I'm not a Matt Ryan guy. Dominique Wilkins, Hank Aaron, number 1, Billy Horschel. From the PGA Tour.
PJ, did you even watch Michael Vick in your life?
Yeah, I a little bit. Atlanta, caught the end of Atlanta. Vividly remember the jail, and then obviously Philly. Jet legend, Michael Vick. Jet legend for a little while there. But there you go. Yeah. Hank Aaron, perhaps the greatest hitter who ever lived, is below Billy Horschel.
Why is the tour carrying that water? Why do they really need to get involved?
They got
for a little juice on a Tuesday night. The tour. No, it was a good finish. I thought the hammer was really good. How they kept putting the screws to them. Atlanta down. We're down. We're going to pick off a hole. We're going to pick off a hole. Then you're going to have to accept it at some point, and they did. And Billy jammed it right in their face. Is there a player that wasn't in this season that I think Billy ended up being?
Is he the MVP?
Yeah, for sure. There's no other. I mean, what are you going to give it to? Dr. Chapinski or something like that? Or I think it's definitely him. I think having a Bryson, having a Spieth, watching Spieth be incredulous about the readings. No, more to see him about the readings. How he yells at Greller or gets upset. He would just be so beside himself about
franchise suicide to sign Spieth.
Think of the marketing bump, though.
Think about what you're doing to your cap.
Oh, here we go. Late breaking news 30 seconds ago.
Your desk.
Steve Cohen tweet just came across my desk. Is everybody raring to go? ? LGM. Already moved on. We're done. He's not even out of the parking lot yet at the SoFi Center. And we're back to tweeting about the Mets, baby.
Hey, Uncle Steve did his part. That guy was at every match, sitting front row.
Arthur Blank too.
Shocked. He didn't go last night. AB. I don't think he went last night. Cohen went, and I know he can spend his time however he wants at this point. It's not like he's got report for work tomorrow morning first, but he's also got a lot going on. If he wants to do, he doesn't have to be there. I was impressed. Uncle Steve did his part, being there for every match. So, last bit. Roberto Castro said the best moments of the season. I tweeted about this. Was Cantlay after Billy Boy was running around doing his thing, chest bumping. Cantlay just goes, "Billy, well done, well done." Dad just totally good job, well done. He just went up. We went from 1 down to 1 up with 1 hole to go. Good job, well done.
I got to pull a question from the early YouTube chat. Okay. Acknowledge the YouTube audience. Get in there, everybody, if you haven't, when we do these live shows. I guess we need to announce more often when we're going to do them on the podcast.
Hey, we're going live now. 5 seconds.
Question from John Hamilton. Is Matt Berry AI? Honest question.
He's giving us kind of a lecture, not us specifically.
At the end.
A lecture to everybody at the end. Hey, we're just having fun. It's a lot. Yeah, you can have fun. I thought it was good.
Man, we sure are spitballing, aren't we, Rich?
It's Matt Berry. I don't. Yeah, maybe he might be. I'm gonna leave that one for the commenter. Great commenter from Michael Moriello. Comment of the night so far. Can you imagine ZJ in a Signal group chat? Which Signal, very very hot topic in the news this week. ZJ might have more misadventures in the Signal if he was running the captaincy than our current moment.
Well,
this week in the news. Would be
we
great.
saw two Ryder Cuppers out there today. You saw Keegan Bradley, who will be playing. Maybe ZJ takes over the captaincy role, and then you saw Billy Horschel. He could. And the problem is, if ZJ gets the captaincy again, he'll snub Billy again.
And Cam Young.
Yeah. I mean, we got a ways to go. All right. So this filled our cup. It filled up the cup, not the whole way, but was enough from about January 5th or whenever it started to now, whatever it is, March 25th.
Honestly, what PJ said, it's better than nothing. And it sounds bad.
Yeah, I don't mean that to sound bad. I really don't.
But it's so true.
It sounds okay.
Because it's like it just gives golf more relevancy across the week. It just doesn't. Golf doesn't go silent. Now, like for my personal life and my coverage of golf, do I love it? No, I don't like having to watch golf 2 more nights of the week.
It's great. Telling my wife this is the last Tuesday night of the year that this was happening. I was like very happy.
Do I like that for my early week personal life? No, not really. Telling my daughter I gotta go podcast tonight. I can't sit and play with you. I have to go podcast. No, I don't like that. But I think for the greater golf whole, like having primetime golf on Monday and Tuesday during a dead time in sports is wonderful.
Yeah. Yep. Was a great finish. I think the season, it just didn't need to flop in a total disastrous way. And it was far from that. And let's just be honest, being on ESPN, being whatever their deal is, it's not much, like $10 million, right? For like 2 years, rights fee. It's not a lot, but that's just, I think it's good both ways, right? ESPN had some real tonnage, something different, something new, something that was rating as well or better often than like the college basketball games they were putting on or would put on year over year. They say it was getting the young demos. I don't know what the final tally was on that. That's just could be PR stuff. So like ESPN just brings I don't know, legitimacy in a way, right? It's got that megaphone. I'm sure they paid probably to have SVP and everybody involved and down there, but that ended up being obviously a massive deal being on ESPN. So anything else?
Well, we got our season end power rankings. I got into them. The model was running all early week. Didn't want to leave this. This is something for us to just, where your team is,
something
you got to stick with
for the rest of the year.
Yeah, rest of the year until next season.
Real point. They went way over indexed on like the use of data there. The last
oh my god, ridiculous.
Season. There's just the sample size is not a lot, but they would just every 2 minutes they were throwing some stat about they hit this fairway, but it was like 4 of 4 was like every time they just went a little too much into data usage.
On one of those par fives, I think it was pick your plunder. They're like 3 of 16 players hit the green and 2. Like I don't really care about that.
All right, so what's your data got going on?
All right, which way are we going, PJ? Are we going from the bottom to the top?
We're going up from the bottom.
All right, number 6. I hate to do this. LAGC.
What?
Yeah, I think they just leave with it. There's more questions than answers. More cows at odds with the media. Justin Rose is an aging star. Saith isn't playing good golf. There's a lot of questions. LAGC is number 6.
All right. Okay.
Number 5. Jupe stinks simply because love is in the air. Love is in the air. They go into the offseason happier than everyone else.
Only one team can win. Only one team can win their last game, but only one team came out of it with love.
If this was a strokes gained happiness ranking for the teams, they'd be number 1 because love is in the air. Number 4, the Bay Golf Club. Dr. Chapinski didn't pick up when they needed him most, but a solid showing. I will say the neighborhood is bummed They really thought this was the year for the Bay GC. Number 3,
Come on. Oh
New
my
York Golf Club. You know, they put together a great fight, but you know, I gotta say it. They lost their last start. We saw them. They cannot beat Atlanta.
I mean,
Atlanta's got their
swept.
number.
We got swept. I don't blame you. It happens.
Number 2, Boston Common Golf Club. This is the team nobody wants to play.
The only winless team in the league.
Talent up and down. Listen, the numbers they just jump off the charts.
The 0-4.
No, they do.
What number?
All the advanced analytics say this is the team. This is I overwrote the analytics. The numbers in the model had them number 1. I couldn't myself. I had to make a manual.
They got to shake some stuff up.
This was the only manual tweak that I made in the model all year. They had him up at number 1.
They got to make some roster moves.
I had some discussions at the Players with some of the management. We talked about potential moves. I'd be very scared of what Boston Common is going to be bringing next year. And number 1, Atlanta Drive. I think there's a real question: is Billy the greatest screen golfer ever? Greatest indoor stadium golfer ever.
We only have 3 months of it to analyze, and I guess ever would be for now, ever, which is a 3-month sample size. Sure, give it to him at the walk-off putt. He never lost in singles, right? All his singles, like
that's what I'm saying.
He lost to Minwoo in the meaningless last game of the season. So throw it out. It's when you bench your starters.
As Matt Berry or Marty, I can't remember which one said this. He's the Scotty Scheffler of screen golf.
That was Marty. One of Marty's contributions to the season. Thank you for your spirit, your gifts, your class. I don't know. Your aura.
All right. How do we move on? I propose this segue of moving on.
Propose it. Send it.
It's one of the greatest weeks in golf this week. And it's not because of the TGL Finals. It is because golf heads to the most iconic venue in worldwide golf. The Hero Indian Open, the event of the year, is contested this week at the DLF golf course. The Gary Player Masterpiece in Delhi. The European Tour heads to DLF. What a
want this to lead our schedule for the week? The Hero Indian Open. Now, this is not to be confused with the International Series India, where we just were at DLF this year with Bryson there getting flummoxed, put in the blender by all the strategic options and penalty that DLF presents. This is the DP World Tour Hero Indian Open at DLF Golf and Country Club in New Delhi, India. It's become a part of the DP World Tour now for a decade. This will be overnight golf from 3:30 to 8 a.m. Get up and watch a little DLF. We're getting
on the West Coast. Do you stay up or do you get up?
Just stay up. Just stay up and run it through. We're getting videos from the DP World Tour of the boys playing against the foam-faced bunkers.
They aren't. I don't think they're foam.
They're pool noodles. What do you think they are? Like plastic?
Well, I've got some on the ground insights that I'm going to share. We have an SGS sicko that just recently played it. They allowed him to be out there just a mere 2 weeks before the tournament, and he sent us a couple bullet points for us to go through.
Okay,
do you want it?
No, yeah, let's do it right now.
The foam number 1. All right, well, here we go. Hey, Andy, happy to report I made it to DLF during my trip to Delhi. A few choice pieces of meat from the ground for you and the boys. Number 1, the foam face bunkers are now hard as rocks.
We'll have to resurface that old Barry Henson video of him demonstrating the ping off of it. And maybe they've hardened up over time.
During our round, we had multiple balls ricochet off the phone.
Dangerous.
The bunkers are definitely a hazard for golf and golfer safety.
All right. But
The
they can be multicolored, according to Gary Player.
2, the 17th hole is crazier than I remember and much crazier than anything TGL has to offer. Unless you want to carry it 280 into the wind across a water hazard and into a fairly narrow landing area, your only option is to hit an iron 190 yards off the tee. From there, you're faced with a 170-yard second shot that plays at least 70 feet up and onto a narrow green with OB just over. The green bakes out in the sun, and with them stimping at 13, I'm not sure how anyone could get the ball to stop on that green. Number 3, it's carts only on the back 9 because there's a par 5 length distance between the 14th green and 15th tee. With all that said, we still had a ton of fun. The course is in impeccable shape. I also picked up a couple hats for you guys, so we got to send them in our address.
All right, love that.
So you get a kick. Then he also,
good.
We'll get into the more of this. I'm gonna get this picture to PJ so he could get it up on the live screen. He's got a picture that hangs in the clubhouse for us, outside the locker room. We'll get to that.
Okay. I think we know more people who have been to DLF and played DLF than with like Augusta National or Pebble Beach at this point. Multiple sources. I heard from 4 people, no fewer, that are there this week. Today. It is apparently a racetrack. Completely firm and fast. Like gonzo, bananas firm and fast right now. And there's fears. They're like, I hope the DP tour doesn't soak it. They're like worried they're gonna have to soak because it's so fast right now. It's already the battleship. You got an artifact sent from this visitor.
The battleship's picture hangs right outside the locker room. This is I mean, if you're gonna hammer any player this week at the Hero India Open, no player has a better track record there than the battleship.
I don't. Yeah, subject to verification. So it is. They might. I'm told there's could be panic, and they might soak it because it's just running so hot right now. Really hard to figure things out in the practice round. DP World Tour posted videos. PJ's got it up on the screen of the boys on the tour, just blasting it into this foam face bunker that it's about 12 to 15 feet tall there, with more brush on top to hit through and over. Just a bizarre hazard. One of our favorite events of the year. I'm told we have fans. Someone there said there are SGS fans on ground. The name rings out in a way or something at this point. We've been talking about DLF. The original so bad it's good Kane, like that they created this phenomenon in our universe at least.
It's incredible. It's the event of the year. I'm bummed out. I did some research. There's another India event later in the fall that I think Rory McIlroy is attending, but it's not at DLF. So you got Bryson at DLF
somewhere else. Yeah.
It's at like New Delhi Country Club or something.
Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna make a case this off season that we send the camera crew out and we do an earnest 20 plus minute YouTube video on DLF.
Should we get time with
Gary
Player?
That's what
we could totally do it.
That's what I'm gonna
available.
suggest.
You know he would.
So it's a shotgun start special project. The more people that sign up for a coffee, the better case we'll be able to make to the business department.
Goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. You get coffee. We get to go to DLF and provide the goods. Use the code SGS. I don't remember what it is. PJ, shotgun or SGS for Good Walk Coffee.
Here's a comment.
SGS.
Okay.
Goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Promo code SGS.
There we go.
We should have one of those charts, that they do for like school fundraisers.
Yeah.
And it's the coffee subs that we need to go do the DLF shoot.
we we might be doing that. That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
There's
Notables. Go
a
ahead.
comment here, and I cannot agree more from the YouTube chat from SC Shoop. We need a President's Cup at DLF.
Absolutely. If the President's Cup wants to be legitimate in any way, shape, or form, put itself further on the map. PGA Tour wants to get serious about being global. They want to get serious about being fan forward. They want to get serious about spitballing. They go to DLF. That's where we need to be for the Peak Cup.
Royal Melbourne or whatever it is next for the internationals, then DLF.
Kingston Heath, I think it is.
Kingston Heath, then DLF.
Yeah. Notables at DLF this week. It's not a lot. Eugenio Chikara, Callum Hill, Riggs Johnston, Kaita Nakajima, John Perry from the band Perry, Marcel Seam, and Brandon Wu. Those are your notables.
There are other notables here. You
Lucas Beauregard.
Scrivener's in there. Beauregard's in there. Marcus Muscat, Shinholt.
Purse is 2.25. I mean, good Lord, that's not a lot of money for what they're playing on with these days.
Oh, God. Dodo Molinari's playing. He could be part of the video. We could have Dodo breaking down the strategy and Gary Player talking the architecture.
Yeah, the EV of playing to this, to that.
Dick Mansell is in
defending
the field.
Champ from last week. Yeah.
Nacho Elvira is in the field.
I think the brothers Elvira played with each other last week. Nacho and Manuel.
SSP, the battleship, is in the field.
How could he not?
I realize that people that are listening might not know who the battleship is. That's SSP Charaiza, great Indian player who's just dominated at DLF.
Is Anirban Lahiri in the field? He's got to be. Bond? He's got to be at Doral next week.
He's not. Right? He's not in the field. Larothable is. Adrian Otagwe, the Vol Man, is.
The Vol Man. All right, that's your event of the week. The Hero Indian Open. We love the DP World Tour going to DLF. Elsewhere in our schedule for the week, on the PGA Tour, we are going to Houston for the Texas Children's Houston Open, it is now called. This is at Memorial Park Golf Course. Purse is $9.5 million, 1.7 to the winner, which is almost as much as the entire Hero Indian Open purse. They need Dr. Munjal has got to kick in a few extra motorbikes and a few extra $1 million for that purse to make it more legitimate. Defending champ.
I think they should make Hero Indian Open a co-sanctioned signature event.
Totally. Absolutely. What more do these guys need to do? What works better than just a quick jaunt to Delhi right before the Masters? Get on the plane, get over to India.
Tony Finau said there's no better place, no better golf course than Memorial Park, which was redesigned by Tom Doak a few years ago. No better place or course to prepare for the Masters. That's what Tony Finau said. I did a little research. You know where Tony Finau's never played?
DLF?
DLF.
That's right. I mean, yeah. Tony, it was good. They were interesting quotes, I guess. He loves the golf course. He's played well at the golf course. Tony is just kind of...
He's played well at Augusta National, too. I feel like he's... I'd take it with a grain of salt if it was Tyrrell Hatton telling me this.
Yeah, I just would have liked him to drill a little deeper. You know, it's kind of... Tony's a lot of empty quotes. Good golf course. Like the golf course. Great golf course. I enjoy it. How could you not love it? Why? What else? I don't know. I mean, he's done well there. He likes it. I think it is they have overseeded Bermuda, and he thinks it's great for chipping, practicing and trying to condition it in the approximate.
Can I
certainly not, close to, but
can I give a few ideas of why
Tony might like it or
why it's a good prep?
I agree. Yeah, go for it.
It's got like a lot of like severity around the greens. Like I think from chipping standpoint, You have a lot of like up and over fronts or mounds that are very similar to Augusta National. And you don't get the topography. You're not hitting like from down to up like you would at Augusta National, or from a lot of like severe lies. But I think in general and I think like the other thing about it is like from off the tee standpoint, both courses give you space, but there's a very premium position with the space that you want to get to. So on the surface, they feel like very friendly places to drive a golf ball, but they are not that friendly. They are very they allow a lot of different types of off the tee players, but they require you to be precise with where you get to off the tee.
And just like Augusta, you can also play it for like $60 on the weekend, right?
Yeah. Just like it.
I mean, that is something to keep in mind. It's kind of incredible that we have a great municipal course for Houston citizens or residents, whatever you want to call them, to play for not a lot of money. It's jam-packed, but and now it's hosting a PGA Tour event. I love that they're back in a very prominent spot on the schedule. It's kind of felt, I mean, it's the Houston Open. It's like it was always like a real deal thing growing up, and having it in the fall didn't feel right. So
remember when Hermie just backed down Henrik Stenson down the stretch, and I think DJ was in the mix that year too.
I just have a lot of good memories. Johnson Wagner, Ian Poulter, I don't know. You were kind of moving on to the Masters, but you had your eye on all on the Houston Open so often.
That 18th tee shot there was legit awesome at the old course. Like it was so hard.
Yeah.
Remember when Hostler and Poulter just completely...
Yes. It's been good over the years. I'm glad it's back. Not the week right in the Masters, but 2 weeks before. Defending champ is 4A, Steven Yeager. Notables Wyndham Clark, Nick Dunlap, Tony Finau, Padraig Harrington, who got a sponsors exemption, I believe. Roy McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Sahith Theegala, and Gary Woodland. This is on Golf Channel 4 to 7 Thursday, Friday, NBC 3 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday. I guess, does NBC have the last two Texas events? And CBS isn't back to the Masters. They're not coming back. Other players in the field, Charlie Ryder, Monday Q'd. Should be interesting to see that.
Speed boy.
Somebody's texting me today. He's the only guy with the worst short game than Aldrich Potgieter. Similar games. Speed boy can nuke the ball, but gotta bring the rest of the level up. Carlos Sainz Jr., after getting bumped from Ferrari to Williams Racing.
I used to tussle with Carlos Sainz on the junior circuit. Illinois, that's a Chicago area, same graduation year, same high school graduation. Larkin High School product.
And he's just F1 superstar.
I'll tell you what. Back in the day, high school golf, Carlos Sainz was a problem.
All right. Well, he's now giving lessons in the Houston area, and apparently very, a problem in the section. Good player. He's in the field. Pearson Cootie in the field. He was one of
the last guys to do the Q school before they changed it.
Jimmy Walker is in on a sponsors exemption.
Where was he playing last week? He was playing in Singapore.
I think he's just been barnstorming all over the place. I had it up earlier. He was everywhere. He's playing the European Tour. He's missing most of his every cut. And now he gets an exemption in the Houston Open. Of course, he's a Texas boy. Maybe he's in next week, San Antonio. That's more of his hometown event.
Yeah.
But he was in the Singapore Classic, Puerto Rico, the Bahrain Championship, the Russell Kaima Championship, Dubai Desert Classic, the Spanish Open. Those are like his last, 8 starts. So he's been all over the world, from Puerto Rico to Asia to the Middle East. And now he is at the Houston Open on a sponsors exemption. Not a bad field. Right? Rory, Scotty, some good players. Who's your pick Who's your one and done pick? Who you got for the Houston Open?
I don't love them doing this. Just mainly because I don't really like watching them play golf.
Oh God,
I'm taking Aaron Rai. He's playing great.
that's who I had. Okay,
He finished second here last year.
I don't like that. I don't like doubling up. I had Rye. I let you go first. I'm gonna go to the Bridge Man. Just on a whim here.
I was looking at that
All right.
too.
Let's ride Jake Bridgeman. Bridge to more money.
What about our gambling expert? He's
real
come in
gambling
on here.
expert.
Yeah, this is our real gambling.
Do we have a hammer or a lock?
I'm making a call.
Oh God.
Calling Dr. Chapinski.
Come on.
Calling
this
him
is
up.
Screen golf.
No, but he can just pound driver here, and if he chips in a couple times, I think we're in good shape. Give me Dr. Chapinski. I think he's gonna call a couple times this week. I feel
Are you
good.
serious?
Yeah, no, I'm dead serious.
This
it's
is not a TGL event.
No, this is not a bit. I actually think Min Woo Lee plays well this week.
Okay. Any other picks? Any other hammers, locks, touts that you want to call out? You're going with Chapinski on the non-screen golf arena. Okay.
Non-screen golf arena. Gotta take him at some point.
The chef.
All right.
I think I have one league where I have to take a player every year. I can't remember who it is this year. Or you lose 5 points.
Oh God.
Really?
It's awful.
Anything else on Houston? We kind of outlined the course. We'll talk more about it Friday. The Finau quotes we've hit on mostly. Just big golf course. So that was good to hear Tony Finau talk glowingly about a place that we kind of have come to enjoy and really approve of the mission certainly behind it and the work that's been done there. Continuing on with our schedule for the week on the LPGA Tour, we have the Ford Championship. Whirlwind, that's a terrible name for it. Whirlwind Golf Club in Chandler, Arizona. That's out there. I think in Tucson or Phoenix area. So that's the Whirlwind Golf Club Ford Championship. Nelly Corda trying to go back to back out there. 7 to 9 p.m., 6 to 9 p.m. on the weekends. They sneak in there with a good window post Houston and their first full field event in the U.S. And it's March, going to be pretty much April 1st. So that's LPGA out in Arizona. Where are my notables for that? Celine Boutier, Ayaka Fudaway, Hannah Green, Jin-Yun Ko, Lydia Ko, Nelly Corda, Yuka Sasso, Lilia Vu, Amy Yane, and Ronnie Yin. Purses $2.25 million out there at the Whirlwind Golf Club.
The Whirlwind.
The LPGA. Listen to Mixed Bag podcast. We got a women's golf LPGA, not just LPGA, but women's golf pod. I listened to the one today. Good stuff. They've got good interviews talking about the clerical error that gave, jammed 3 women out of starts, gave Sophia Popov 3 starts that she wasn't in the reorder, didn't in the priority ranking, wasn't owed.
Is Popov like effectively like a Sean McKeel situation of women's golf?
I'm going to defer to the Mixed Bag. Why don't you? I'm going to punt that one to them, and they can answer that.
A question for the next pod from this
women's
pod.
LPGA gets up and running here in the stateside. On the Champions Tour, we have the Gallery, Galleri, Gallery Classic at Mission Hills and Rancho Mirage. The best senior players in the world. This is the 3rd time they've done it over there. Retief Goosen, the Goose Man, is your defending champion at the Gallery Classic. Notables: Stephen Alker, Stephen Ames, Fred Couples, Ernie Els, Goose, Miguel Angel Jimenez, number 1 in the Schwab Cup standings, Bernhard Lahner, and Justin Leonard. This is all over the place. It's like the NBC Sports app, tape delayed, finishing 3 to 6 p.m. on Golf Channel on Sunday. PJ, anything we need to worry about with the Gallery Classic on the Champions Tour?
No, I was going to say I looked up the how to watch, and that was my biggest takeaway, is that this is bouncing all over the place. I'm asking for some respect. Miguel Angel Jimenez going for his 3rd win of the season. Can we just get some respect, please, for the Champions Tour? I know we've taken Papa and Zinger off the road, but that does not mean we have to take them off of TV. Can we please just get some respect out here? That's all I'm asking for.
Oh, love that. And then last but not least on our schedule for the week, we have the NFLPA Classic, NFLPA Golf Classic. I have this on the schedule from 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday. So this is your Wednesday evening.
I was locked
TJ,
in tonight.
I asked you to look into this for us. It's NFL players, current and former, or all current.
Pseudo active. There are a couple guys who definitely do not have jobs, but are not technically retired yet.
But this is on Golf Channel.
It was. So yeah, it was on tonight. This is how I pre-gamed TGL.
What are they doing? Was it any good?
They're at Mayakoba, which is
that's right.
kind of just hilarious to begin with.
To be clear, this is independent from the one at Boca, which also has a bunch of retirees. But
yes,
a lot of
that is a Champions Tour event in which
Pro-Am.
NFL Hall of Famers play alongside Champions Tour members in a pro.
Like Bill Murray or Larry the Cable Guy.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We're taking Pebble Beach, we're moving it to Boca, and we're putting NFL players here. That's I believe, next week. I believe it is.
So a lot of NFL golf going on. I didn't know there were multiples. Okay.
If you want to see Calvin Johnson play golf, we'll get to that next week. Be excited.
Megatron.
What happened in this thing?
So I was watching it. They're at Mayakoba. The broadcast crew.
Oh, what a terrible place to send a bunch of amateurs to play a tournament.
The broadcast crew consists of Damon Hack on play-by-play, with Dano.
Love Damon.
Dan Orlovsky on as the analyst in the booth with Damon, and then the on-course reporters of Kay Adams reprising her role from the Creator Classic, and New York Giants backup quarterback Jameis Winston.
Oh my God, Jameis is an on-course reporter.
They gave Jameis a live mic. They gave Jameis a live mic on Golf Channel. I have some highlights from like my hour and a half of pre-gaming TGL today. Utz, like the chip and the pretzel.
Yeah.
He kept on pronouncing it as Oots for about 10 minutes. He was asking the Washington Commanders team. So a lot of these teams are based on like position group. There's like a couple tight end teams. There's a couple like teams, a lot of commies playing together, a lot of Vikings playing together. And then there's a college team. Like Sauce's team is all guys who went to Cincinnati. Like Desmond Ritter. Is Desmond Ritter technically an NFL player? Like kind of, but he's not on a team.
They got enough guys, Bearcats, to do that?
Yeah, it's him, Alec Pierce, Josh Wiley, and Desmond Ritter. So, whatever you want to take that for.
Okay.
So Jameis is there. He's pronouncing Oots. He's asking the commies team if they've ever had the crab Old Bay like flavored Oots chips and pretzels. And then Zach Ertz obviously asks if Jameis is a crab connoisseur. With Jameis said, "Why, yes, I am."
He is. We know that.
Very, very famously is. And then we had another team, James's T-Box. I believe this was the Minnesota Vikings team. He started lecturing them on the nutritional value of coconuts.
Oh my God.
Jameis is doing this?
Yes. Jameis is talking about how great he's holding a coconut. He's got a straw in it. He's talking about how great coconuts are. My favorite part of this entire thing was this audio sounded like it was recorded in a tin can. It was absolutely abhorrent. It like Dano and Damon sounded terrible.
Are they there?
Audio sounded terrible. I don't know if Dano and Damon are, but the other two, the other two are. The audio is just terrible. But I can give you a little leaderboard update here. The defending champions of Team Harrison Smith, which is a Minnesota Vikings based team.
I saw this team.
They're up. They shot a 57 today. It's a scramble. They shot a 57 today.
All right.
So that's Harrison Smith.
Didn't JJ McCarthy say something crazy today?
I watched JJ McCarthy drain 2 eagle putts. He's like got some game. I didn't see what he said. I didn't necessarily hear him say anything.
I saw something about him saying something about being number 1 quarterback or something. I didn't look into it.
Well, it's that team is
Jameis is greater than Marty Smith for the chat.
Jameis might be better than Marty Smith. He's got Case Keenum, Harrison Smith, Adam Thielen reprising his roles at Minnesota Viking, even though he's not there anymore. And JJ McCarthy is on that team. Sauce's team is not that.
I was gonna ask you how you felt about Sauce's team.
You know, they're in fourth right now, tied for fourth. They're 7 shots back of Team Minnesota Vikings, so I find that kind of tough. I don't know if Sauce is going to pull this one out, but I'm happy that Sauce is get this out of the way now. Show up in about 2 or 3 weeks here for off-season workouts and get ready to lock in. We're playing a lot of man this year. I don't know if he's necessarily ready for that, but I hope he is. So these teams, Cole Kmet is involved. He's there. This was started by former Browns J.C. Treader and Joel Bitonio. This is how this started. This is the third straight year of this, but now they have a deal with Good and Golf Channel. So the Good boys are down there getting all types of content. I saw Brad Dahlke was getting in the mix. So I'm sure that'll come out on YouTube at some point.
I just don't know who's paying for this. Like, why is this on TV? It's crazy. I'm not like disparaging it, but the value.
But if you want to tune in,
the NFLPA. All right. So that's Wednesday night. That's your schedule for the week. PJ, thank you for your service. You went above and beyond. I asked you to look into that. You got us.
No, I went through all the history.
Seems like a PJ fever dream here.
Seriously.
First year winners was quite a random team, honestly, of 3 Denver Broncos and TJ Hawkinson, Brandon McManus, Von Miller, TJ Hawkinson, and Syracuse Orange legend Riley Dixon. And then the Vikings seem to be going back to back here with Harrison Smith as team captain.
Right. PJ, where would this rank on your dream events to go cover?
Low.
It wouldn't be like terribly high. I'd
Okay,
go. I think it would be funny. It seems like it's very, very exclusive. I looked at all the press releases. This is an invite only. There are no fans, no spectators. This seems to be a very closed off, high profile event for your favorite backup quarterbacks and blocking tight ends.
Brought to you by Organized Labor, the NFLPA. All right.
What
there we go.
Would you be more keen to get on a plane and fly to India to cover the Hero Indian Open or go to this?
If I'm going internationally, either way, I feel like all bets are off at that point. I don't know. India feels like a long flight, but I do want to see DLF. So it's kind of, you could take me either way in that direction.
Do you think from Long Island you fly east or west to India?
That's just not even.
I'm gonna assume east, but I don't know that.
Yes. Masters fact of the day. Masters fun fact. Bobby Jones served in the military during the war and showed appreciation for U.S. soldiers throughout his life. Following World War II, injured troops were invited to attend the Masters, leading to unusual scene. This is from Bama Bearcat. Leading to the unusual scene of soldiers in wheelchairs and lying in cots, greenside, surrounding the 18th at Augusta National. So, like wounded soldiers, wheelchairs, cots, as an honor to the World War II vets and those hurt over World War II. But kind of interesting. There are apparently like pictures of this, like in the clubhouse and documented. But that's your Masters fun. Not great fun.
Not
Masters
really fun.
Fact of the day from Bama Bearcat soldiers. All right, we're like getting close. A week and a half out.
Very close. I got something that just came across my desk.
Okay, what is it?
Billy, some quotes after the TGL.
Yeah.
More fuel for the Ryder Cup fire here. It was fun. That moment was awesome. Walking off the green, Ricky goes to me. He's like, that was like the 07 Walker Cup. We played together in the foursomes matches, and there were a couple moments that I was pretty boisterous. And one of them was on Sunday. I hit a great bunker shot 30 yards away, and it was looking like it was going out, and I came out like a gazelle running down the hill, thinking it was going to go in and yelling and everything. Yeah, I've done some crazy. These guys are laughing at it. Listen, blackout moments. I don't ever plan it. It just sort of happens. I'll just stop talking now.
Never stop talking, Billy. That's why you're the town crier. We love you. Never stop talking. Just let it rip. All right. That's some good stuff. We have another Patino coming to the Big East as we record this.
That.
Richard going to Xavier. That'll be interesting for PJ.
They're a mid-major conference.
Getting after the Catholic Conference. News: Valspar Collegiate. Texas wins the team event, and the Ford guy won it. David Ford won.
Did you see what happened there?
I did. We got a lot of notices about this. They're twins. One was first, one was not.
David
first.
And Maxwell.
Yes.
They bookended it.
One was DFL.
It's incredible.
They're twins. Maybe a Cooper and Ace Flag situation. I don't know. But yes, Texas wins the team. The Bad Boys, Texas, wins in Florida. This is at the Floridian. And David Ford wins the individual. Valspar ratings up from Pepe Peters' win last year with Hovland, up 16%, but down a little bit from 2 and 3 years ago. So that's
Hovland would be a fun TGL player.
You think so?
Yeah, he's earnest. He's honest. Has some funny reactions.
Need some chippy guys.
Patrick Reed.
He would get serious about it. He would be very competitive.
If you're going to construct, my guess is the roster sizes go up. If you're going to construct a 5-person live team, who would be your 5? Bryson?
For TGL?
TGL.
Yeah. I mean, like Bryson Brooks would, I think, figure out a way to be kind of an a-hole and be interesting for that. Bryson Brooks, Sergio, because like he's the ultimate like team golf irritant, right? Sergio, Bryson Brooks, Pat Reed. That's 4 that are pretty good right there. I'm not sure I even need anything beyond that. Those 4 guys, right? Rom, I don't know if I need Rom.
Joaquin?
No. Sergio and Reed. Give me Sergio and Reed before anything else. Need to start with those.
Incredible. PJ, there's a direct flight from Newark to New Delhi.
How many hours is that?
It's a 1440. 1440.
Do you want to send him this weekend? Is that what you're talking about?
Should we get him? It's only $622.
That is not much. What's the airline?
Wait, hold on. It's United.
What?
Let me see what we could get it for if we send.
Business Pete, is he watching right now? This could be a disaster. St. John's out of the tournament. You're going to India.
Let's see. Trying to see what we can work here. Does that okay? The United flight's $1,000. $1,000.
It's not bad. How long is the flight? How many
1620. 1620 on the way back.
Oh my god! That does, PJ. He had a harrowing boat ride last week. We're gonna put him in a metal tube and send him across the ocean for 16 hours.
$1,000. I wonder if we
Not
could get
much.
some lodging from the European tour. Could they put him up?
I mean,
Get him on the shuttle. Get him on the shuttle. We'll ship him over there.
Can we send a letter to Dr. Mangel? He might
What
be
if-
able to get you some lodging.
What if the flights for basic? What if we sent him basic economy?
Oh my god! Employee abuse. Put a duffel bag between.
You shouldn't even be able to select basic economy for this flight.
Oh, all right.
So you're
we'll
telling
have to
me if I
decide
left now, maybe I'll make it for Sunday.
If you go,
that. You can
we
still
can get
I
stay
you-
on.
left right now.
if you left tomorrow at 8:40 p.m., you get there at 9 p.m. on Thursday,
Oh my god!
and then you leave on Sunday night at 11:35, and you land at Newark at 6:25 a.m. and then get the joy of fighting rush hour traffic to
Yeah,
Long
Newark.
Island.
To Long Island.
3-hour
Need
Uber
that.
ride
Yeah.
home after.
Wait, you're flying overnight
Oh my god.
overnight. for
coming
se-
back.
But it's a 17-hour flight on the way back. But it's a red eye.
Well, how does that work?
I think I'd rather go to Mayakoba. I think this is too much plane for me. Too much over water. I didn't really like the London thing. This is doubling that, tripling that almost. I'm good. I think I'm going to Mayakoba over DLF. I think this conversation did it for me.
So the flight path on this flight goes up
Up and over.
into Greenland,
Ah, there
over
you go.
Scandinavia, and down.
And down.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Red, white, and blue land. Okay. All right, everyone, enjoy your Wednesdays. We'll be back Friday with the flashback, some golf advice. Last TGL Tuesday of recording of the year, I think.
We did it.
We're
Good
happy
run.
it's over now, but I think by September we're gonna be wondering when it's coming back.
Maybe. We'll see. All right. We'll talk to you guys on Friday.